Hi, Anthony.
Hi, Toby. Hi, John. Hi, Zelda. Nice
Hey,
to
how are
meet you
you?
guys finally.
Thank you so much for taking the time to hang with us.
Oh, I'm thrilled beyond, like, ever since I saw this film. I'm sure you guys know which one this is.
Right on.
Dark Sky Films sent me a copy of that, and I've been immersed with your guys' talent. It's unreal. And now with Hellbender, it's just like I was blown away. I don't know where to start praising you guys. Like I told you, Toby, in chat, I was like just so blown away. Like you guys are easily some of my favorite filmmakers.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Well, I know a good place to start, which is to tell Zelda. He was just about to interview Danko Jones, and I guess Danko Jones couldn't show up.
Oh my God.
We're trying to reschedule, so
That is the coolest thing ever. Oh my gosh.
So I thought the best way to start this, not that it's my interview, but I was like, okay, everybody's got to say who's their favorite Danko. I mean, what's their favorite Danko Jones song? I already told Anthony what mine is. What's yours?
I like Kiss on the First Date.
yeah,
First date.
Kiss on the first date.
Yeah.
Because I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's definitely the best one. And then that little bridge where like he's talking about like what the date is gonna be like. Oh my God, it's so good.
A movie. Yeah.
But I told Anthony mine's definitely Play the Blues.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
However, the song It's a Beautiful Day is so good.
Well, and his new album, Power Trio, comes out on the 27th. That's why he's doing all these interviews. He's doing press to get publicity for the album.
Well, we'll be looking forward to that.
It's a great album. I got it sent to me already. I'm getting a review. I'm getting it together for that.
Oh, you're
I'm
lucky.
excited.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm a collector. I collect physical media.
Awesome.
That's the best way to do it, honestly.
I know.
We played actually with Danko Jones. My band played with Danko Jones at CBGB's many, many years ago.
Really?
Yes, and they were terrific.
Awesome.
Oh, no, actually, it was the Continental. It wasn't CBGB's. It was the Continental.
Even better.
Oh,
Yeah, even better. Right.
What's the name of your band?
My band was called Banana Fish Zero at that time.
Oh, okay.
And we were like a party punk band, so we worked very well with Danko Jones. He would never remember us, but we remembered him. We were huge fans of Danko Jones and everything they did.
I don't know. He's got a pretty good track memory. I've seen some of his current interviews because I like to try and stay current with what their questions and whatnot. So
okay,
cool. He's got a pretty locked, solid brain there. So
I believe it. I believe it. With the songs he writes and their work ethic, that guy's a pro.
Yeah. So back to what we're really here for, which is to talk about Hellbender. Where did the idea come from? Toby, I gotta say, you scared me in some of the scenes in this film. Like your intensity is just like through the roof. Like we're talking like, I don't know, for me it was like almost Exorcist scary because your intensity in your face. And I think because the three of you collaborate so well, and because it is such a tight family unit, you can get those kind of performances from each other. Whereas if you're working for somebody else, you may not be able to reach that goal that you're trying to achieve, whether it be the director or the writer or the actor even. But for me, you and Zelda as well, your performances, like this scene where, sorry, I'm just going on. It's kind of exciting to talk to you guys. Where you two are rolling around in the snow. Really bizarre scene. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet, but bizarre, but it works. It works for the structure of where the story is, right? It works for where you guys are going, and where you guys go is like way off, you know, into left field, you know, like I didn't see any of it coming.
Good. That scene was, we really wanted that scene because that's the first time the mother and the daughter actually get to be beautiful and full hellbenders together.
Yeah.
And it's like the mother's true natures come out and the daughter gets to see it and they get to celebrate together. And in fact, it's like the most loving scene of the movie, even though it's completely, as you say, in left field. And it was a thrill to film that one.
Mm-hmm. We got to play around with a lot of blood, which is always very fun.
Blood and snow are always a good pair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because the blood, it just celebrates the blood that much more, right?
It really,
Yeah.
More in your face. People, you can appreciate it because it's, yeah. But and for you, Zelda, like this is such a different coming of age story because you see coming of age stories a dime a dozen, and it's all about sex, drugs. Everybody's getting into bad stuff, but this is a totally different turn on that. How was your feeling on that? Because I didn't know if it was going to go that way, and I was pleasantly surprised that it didn't.
Yeah, thank you so much. In our original idea for Hellbender, we were going to have the typical coming of age story where there was like a love interest and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm so happy that we didn't go that route because it was so fun getting to play Izzy's character who's coming to terms with something that you don't normally see, you know, happening in movies. She's coming to terms with, you know, having these strong powers and like questioning, do I embrace this identity? Is that my nature to do that? Or should I be how I was raised by my mom? Like, it was really fun playing a character that's coming to terms with her identity, because that's kind of what I'm doing in real life too. Like, I'm growing up in this world as a young woman, figuring out who I am. And it was really fun getting to play that on screen.
Yeah, because you had such a small role in the Deeper You Dig, but here we really get to see you shine as a young actress. And I think
Thank you.
I think you did a phenomenal job.
That's really, really nice of you. Thank you. I think we really, in this film, we wanted to develop both the mom and the daughter's relationship and characters a lot more. Like in The Deeper You Dig, the mother and daughter were great, but in Hellbender, we just like wanted to give them a full-on backstory and even crazier characters, which was really fun to build.
Well, and were both films predominantly shot like in the same area? Like
We shot a lot. We shot the house that we shot The Deeper You Dig in, which you see in its originally in its skeletal form at the beginning of the Deeper You Dig. John was actually working on that house, restoring that house. So as The Deeper You Dig was shot, the house was kind of a metaphor for you know, what was going on with John's possession, you know, John's character's possession from the girl in The Deeper You Dig. That house now is so beautiful. So we actually shot a lot of the interiors in that very same house. And then a lot of the exteriors are around here too.
So it's in your neighborhood where you
Yeah, in the Catskills, New York.
Nice.
Yeah.
and we were able to shoot, we actually used a lot of the same woods, a lot of the exact same spaces in Hellbender that we had used in The Deeper You Dig. But what was interesting was in The Deeper You Dig, it was all shot in the winter. And in Hellbender, a lot of it was shot in the spring and the summer. So the woods just look completely different. So though we may have been standing on the exact same ground, the whole feeling of it was a lot different. And then we also bought a truck and an RV and went and traveled, did a huge circle around the US because COVID kind of shut everything down and Zelda was remote schooling. We decided we could use the beauty of America to kind of fill out the production value of Hellbender. So a lot of the dream sequences and a lot of the like book visions were shot in exceptionally beautiful places like the deserts in Texas and the mountains of Montana and the rainforests of Portland, like Oregon and Washington.
Nice. Yeah, because it's one of the few times where it actually, that scene when the the man comes onto your property.
Yeah.
Made me second guess about going into the woods. Watching out for those signs, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Pay more attention.
Yeah.
And don't take pictures of things floating in the sky.
That's right. But it was also the subtle stuff that I don't know if a lot of people picked up on, but I mentioned to you, Toby, and Messenger, the scene when Zelda comes home from partying with her friends and she swallows the worm, right? But you're waiting at the top of the stairs for her. But when you come down the stairs, the lighting that's cast from because there's that semi roof that comes down, but when your eyes get into focus with the camera, it's almost like Carrie's mother. That's what came back to me, was the mother from Carrie. It was just like that haunting, but it was so small. If you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. But
I'm also thrilled at that you're bringing up this scene. One of my favorites in the movie, and I love everything that you've recognized about it, especially the way the lighting works and the way she kind of is. It was a fun symbolic scene for us because she starts in a place of power at the top of the steps, looking down at her daughter. And by the time she sits down, the light changes, the focus changes, and she is now below her daughter. Even though she's still on the steps, she's changed. And I'm so glad that you point out that scene, because it was a really fun symbolic scene for us.
well, and there's a power change that's starting to evolve.
And it's right there, and she knows it. And so bringing up that scene is so fun, because for us, that's what's fun about making a movie, is when somebody points out something that we talk for hours about. So very, very cool.
Well, it's the one scene that really stood out for me. I mean, there's some great scenes like near the end when you're down in that muck or whatever it is with the light. I know you know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to say too much because there's so many people that haven't seen the film yet, because it just premiered, and congratulations on the premiere. And even more so, the signing with Shudder. Was that through you guys, or did your representatives do that?
No, that was through Yellow Veil Pictures, and we are just eternally grateful to them. Those three guys are just so cool. And we thought they were a perfect fit for us. And the fact that they scored this deal with Shudder is just another example of how they knew that that would be a perfect fit for the film. Yeah.
And we knew that by working with them, we were going to work with Kayla, who is just like, exceptional at what she does. And their whole team has opened up another world to us. And it's incredibly exciting.
Well, it is for me, because I'm grateful that I got to see the movie. I mean, I was accepted to cover the Fantasia Film Festival. So.
Oh, is this year the first year?
First year ever. Yeah.
So fun.
Lucky
well,
you.
Congratulations. I know that's quite difficult. So that's really great.
It's nice after 25 years that they're letting me cover it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But for you guys, does it feel like you've hit a home run? Because in a sense, I feel like you guys, because my review I have yet to do, but I'm working on it, but I was getting ready for this interview. But I'm just excited because I was excited to see what you guys would do after this. And now I'm even more excited to see what you do now for your next feature. Like, it's just writing, directing, producing, scoring the music, the cinematography. You guys are just, you got your hands full, and you're just, I don't know, it's a marvel of independent film that I'm just excited that you guys are here talking to me. It's just,
well, thank you. I'll speak for me. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's a wonderful relief too, because we just spent 2 years together, the three of us, working on this movie, and all, you know, it was a ton of joy for us. We had a ton of fun, and it is, I'll admit, for me, it's an incredible relief to have people like you enjoy it, because not that we need to be legitimized, but it does make those 2 years, it adds this great element of, good, we're bringing something to other people. We love doing it, and we're glad that they're enjoying it too. It is a big relief. So hearing something like that from you, especially that you like The Deeper You Dig, there's always the fear that someone might like The Deeper You Dig, and then they'll watch our next one and be like, that sucked. Like, I like The Deeper You Dig, but you know, their new movie sucks. You know, that's scary. And so when somebody like you says, I really loved Hellbender, you don't realize how much fuel to our fire that adds. It's incredibly generous.
Well, I don't know. I've been appreciating film since I was a little kid, and as I get older, I just appreciate it more. And
It's fun.
For me, I was thinking about this last night, and I don't know if this is way out of, not way out of line, but if it's putting too much pressure on you guys, but I almost feel like this movie could evolve into something like what Wes Craven did with Scream.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
I mean, that's a big, I mean, he had a bigger release, of course. He had it on so many screens because he was Wes Craven, and he had New Line behind him and that sort of thing. But, you know, the potential that you guys have to really hit that home run, I think you guys have done that with this one.
Well, thanks.
Wow.
We love the idea of, I mean, the thing is, you know, talking about where Hellbender can go, Hellbender you could have so much fun with Hellbender. Like,
yes,
the next part, like this girl band hits the country and all the damage that they do. It's not only filled with wonderful metaphors, but it's filled with blood and guts. It's filled with rock and roll. It's like, it really is a fun setup.
and Zelda, you guys wrote the music for Hellbender, the band that you and your mom were playing.
Yeah, like, so we're all in a family band together that's also called Hellbender, but all the E's are sixes. And as a family, we've been making music ever since I was a kid. I was, you know, brought up around music because John would always be playing guitar, and he has a great musical background. And I'm really grateful that we get to all be in a band together, and it gets to be in our movies. And yeah, we're constantly trying to put out like more music, and we really want to release the soundtrack for the Hellbender music as well.
That'd be awesome. Because I know The Deeper You Dig, it got an Arrow release, right?
Yes.
And they got a nice box Arrow release.
Oh, yeah.
They were amazing.
They did a great job.
Yeah, hopefully they'll do that with Hellbender as well. But it's
Well,
gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before anything like that's gonna be settled, right?
Mm-hmm.
well, we're just, like you had mentioned before, we're just so thrilled to be a part of Shudder, where our minds are already blown. So when we pick up the pieces of our minds, we can start to think about other things.
How does it feel when you wrap a film? Do you feel that there's something on the cutting room floor that you wanted to add in, but now it's like, oh, it's too late to put that in because it's done and we've sent it off? And
That's an original question.
That is
That's a great question.
Good question. I don't tend to feel that way. If anything, I'm grateful for the things that we didn't put in the film, because often we shoot a lot because we can, because
Right.
with 3 people who live together, and our life is our art is our life. So usually for me, it's the opposite. I'm grateful that we kind of whittled things down to what they were.
You know what I just thought of on the spot, and I've never thought about this before until you asked the question, is, you know how in Marvel, sometimes they add a little clip after the credits of like
Yes.
a hint towards the next movie?
Yeah.
I wish we would have done that. It like,
Little coda.
like, so that there's like a potential for a next movie. You inspired us. Wow, that's cool.
Oh, but back in the heyday, back in the silent era, before the feature film, they used to have cliffhangers. They would have a 2-minute clip of a movie of a car going down the road, and this couple's in the car and they lose control of the car. They have no brakes and the car is nearing the cliff, and then it ends. And you have to go back to the theater the next week to see how it ends. Did they go off the cliff? Was he able to get control of the car? So yeah, they've been doing that forever.
That's
That is so cool.
Yeah, old time serials. That's how they came up with soap operas and stuff. And
I love that. I didn't know that. That's so
Yeah.
cool. That's so
Literal
smart. That's
cliffhanger.
such good business.
yes. Well, and it kept people, well, exactly, because it kept people coming back to the theater, right? Because they
Right.
didn't have television back then. So, you know, I think it was, what was it, 10 or 15 cents? You'd go to the theater.
Right. That's amazing.
So anything else you'd like to add? You guys are just excited to have this out and about? And
Yeah, every morning we wake up and we look each other in the eyes and we're like, you guys, this is happening. Like, it kind of feels surreal, like a fever dream, but
Right.
we are eternally grateful. And it really means so much to us that, you know, people like you are enjoying it. Like, and it makes us really excited for our next film.
Yeah, the best thing for us is to now work on our next thing. Zelda's going away to college next year, so she's got one more year left, and we all want to try to get one more movie cranked out. And we have a really fun idea that's basically about a family of gangsters that are also serial murderers, and it's set in the 30s, so there's that kind of Depression era coolness, and something terrible happens to the parents, and basically the daughter is going to have to make a deal with the devil to kind of save them. And we all know whenever you make a deal with the devil, that the devil comes for double pay. And so we're kind of excited because we're planning that out, and we're starting the production on it. And at least for me, the best way to end a movie is to start another one, because that silence when you're done creating something can, at least for me, be deafening. And it's good for me just to jump right into the next thing so that I'm busy.
but John, the devil went down to Georgia. He didn't win that duel.
Exactly. A great song. I mean, there, you could just, right, there's a movie right there.
Yeah.
So we'll see whether these guys aren't going to win the duel either. We know what our beginning is to our movie, and we know what our ending is. And so now Toby's filling out the meat to the story. Zelda came up with a wonderful skeleton, and so Toby's throwing the meat on it. And, you know, we're just having a lot of fun working on the next thing as we do the festival circuit with HELLBENDER.
Well, I think it's awesome that you're doing such a collaborative work as a family unit. And your other daughter was in this as well, we should mention, but she's not here today.
She's in Alaska. Being
That makes it a bit
adventurous.
difficult, yeah.
It was so nice that she got to be in our film. I think she really added a nice bubbliness to it. She's a naturally bubbly person, so it was fun getting to see her like that. She was just playing herself on camera.
Right.
She was
Which
terrific.
again is maybe something that you can't get if she was acting for somebody else, because she's with family, so it's almost like a home movie in a sense, but you guys are just play acting, right?
Yeah, it was really fun. She was super natural. Like, it was great. She hadn't been in our last 2 or 3 movies, so we hadn't seen her. She hadn't really been involved because she'd been in college, and she just came on set and just nailed it, because she was just natural and she was relaxed. We were all having a good time together, and I think her wonderful energy really comes across and helps the movie.
Well, and Zelda, when you're looking in on her and she's like, stop being a perv, and then she realizes it's you, and she's like, oh, it's not who I thought it was. Come have a drink.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even her place.
Exactly right. That's a very Lulu thing right there. That was really fun. Toby wrote that whole scene, I think for Lulu, because it was like, this is just so Lulu. Everything
Right.
about it. Like, hey, let's just, crash someone else's place, drink their alcohol, play their drums. It'll be fun.
But again, it was a nice little surprise again that you guys just threw in there. It was just something in the mix, right? Like,
Cool.
Yeah, and we wanted to show something that had a different vibe from Izzy's character, which was, she's very shy and quiet. And then you have this outgoing Amber. I mean, even her name Amber sounds like an ember, something that's, on
Right.
fire. And so, yeah.
well, I think we've gone over actually. I don't know.
We have a little bit of time left because our next interviewer couldn't make it until 4:30. So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Shucks, I get to talk to you guys a little bit longer then.
Awesome.
Where do you live?
I live in Maple Ridge, British Columbia. It's about an hour outside of Vancouver.
Oh,
Wow.
you lucky. That's so lucky. We love it up there.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Well,
can't wait to go
come
back
visit.
there.
Come
We
visit.
will. Watch out. We'll be there. I think that they might have opened up the border. I think that we can actually come across the border now, maybe, because if you're vaccinated, I think we can go to Canada now. I'm not sure whether that's going to change back, but do you know?
I haven't heard, honestly.
Yeah,
I think they might.
that's what
I think they
heard.
might be as well.
So I know this isn't about Hellbender, so we can go back if we want, but I want to know what you're going to ask Danko Jones, because it's so funny. You have to understand that Zelda and I, we write a lot of songs together. We spend a lot of time doing music together, and we spend a lot of time listening to music together. So, one of the bands I turned her onto was Danko Jones.
Well, I got a slew of questions for him.
Cool.
One of them in my doing research on him was something I wanted to do a total segue with him is he has his own podcast.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and it's actually called the Regal Beagle Podcast, and it's actually a fan-based podcast looking at the whole history of Three's Company. He's a diehard Three's Company fan.
That is really
And
weird.
that's like, yeah, right. But it's like he and a buddy of his, they just analyze every single episode from episode 1, and I'm not sure where they're at yet. I think they're up to season 6 or 7 now. I'm not sure.
Well, what kind of venues does Danko Jones play up in Canada? Because in America, he's not super well down in our whatever you call our part of America. He's not super well known. Like he's
No.
more, But what kind of venues does he play up in Canada?
Oh, he plays all over. He plays his hometown is Toronto.
It's Toronto, but I mean,
And I
like
think
what
he's
size?
played the Commodore here in Vancouver.
How many people go to that? How many people? Like, what size of a seat capacity is
Oh,
that?
well, you're maybe looking at maybe 400 or 500 people. It's a smaller venue, but that's what Danko's used to playing. But he has some UK shows coming up. He's got some shows coming up in the fall, and then he's got some in the spring as well.
Awesome. Yeah, he's terrific.
He's
Great
awesome.
riff.
Yeah,
Great riffs.
yeah. So you say you're going to try and release the soundtrack for the movie as well. So we have something else to look forward to.
Yeah, we're working on that. We knew early on that we really wanted music to be a heavy part of the film, and so now we have. We have some tracks that didn't make it into the film, but actually are about the film. So we're hoping to release something that is like a celebration of the movie that has some extras. So not just the songs that you hear in the film, but also some of the songs like that you were asking before that hit the cutting floor.
Yeah.
So because they're still really fun and they do refer to the story. So we'd like to put something together and just kind of have fun with that.
Well, my friend Jill, she had a movie that she finally made her feature film. It's called The Stylist. And when she had the Blu-ray come out, Arrow Video actually released it. She had the Blu-ray come out, she actually had the soundtrack included with the Blu-ray.
Oh, cool. That movie did really well, The
I just was
Stylist.
reading
It
about
did,
it.
Yeah.
did quite well. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So what did your friend do on it?
She was the writer director.
Oh my gosh, terrific. That was a smashing success. I mean, I read about it so many, it's like about 3 months ago, it was all over the place, right?
And I saw the short she did in 2016, and then she wanted to make it a feature film. She finally got the feature done.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's playing on Arrow TV. Actually.
So since you've watched a lot of Fantasia films, can you recommend us one that you think we should watch?
I haven't got around to watching a lot of them, actually. The other one I watched was Baby Money.
Oh, okay.
And it's
I
kind of a heist movie.
Right, I saw the poster, I liked it.
Yeah.
Did you see The Righteous?
No, not yet. They're
Okay.
very selective as to what the media can see. They kind of pick and choose what you can see. and
Understood.
Select from that list. I've been with smaller festivals where they just give you the whole list and you can just pick what you want. But here they pre-selected media selections. So
Oh, well, cool.
it's a little different, but I can still see. I got to see your movie, so I'm good.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, well, I'm glad we got put on your list. That's
Yeah, and
really
we
cool.
didn't, I know we didn't have a long window either. Yeah.
No, it was over Saturday night. I think it only
Right.
showed two showings. I think that was it.
Yep.
What's your next one?
That
you
I'm
get
not
lost.
sure of. I've got
Oh, okay.
other studios I review for. I've got stuff piling up behind me on my TV that I have to get to. I got my first review copy for Kino Lorber, so little
Fun.
movie called Viva.
Huh. Looks, oh,
It's
wait.
directed by this same woman. She did The Love Witch.
I was gonna say, I recognize her. Oh, yeah.
She
That's
did The Love
cool.
Witch.
I like
This
the
is a
Love Witch a lot.
It's 2017. It's about a suburban housewife in the 70s, and she gets into the underground of the sexual revolution. And so it's kind of softcore. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, I don't normally
Got
watch
it.
I don't normally kind of watch these movies, but
I've seen that poster though. Like, I guess I've seen that somewhere. This movie. So fun. That's great.
yeah, it came out in 2017. This is a re-release. They restored it, remastered it, put it on Blu-ray.
Awesome.
So anything else you guys would like to ask or add? I'm sorry, not ask.
Just that we really appreciate your enthusiasm. It meant so much, especially in the beginning. We didn't really know how people were going to receive the film, and I got that message from you, and I was really grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, I have to say the same thing. Really, thanks a lot.
It makes our heart happy.
That's great. I'm glad I can do that for you guys because I'm anticipating the next release.
Well, we're gonna work hard on it.
I'm looking forward to having Hellbender next to The Deeper You Dig when that becomes available.
Thank
Right
you.
on.
That's so cool that you got that Deeper You Dig. We had such a good time making that and we learned so much from it. And hopefully we applied that to this movie because we just loved making both of them actually. They're both really
Yeah.
fun to make.
I actually review for Dark Skies Films, so they sent me a copy of it. So,
Oh, cool. Well, all right.
I've got a few of their movies here. I'm still waiting on another one that hasn't arrived yet, but
Which one's that?
I don't know. It's got a weird title. I'm having troubles. I contacted Marjan the other day.
Is it My Heart Doesn't Beat Unless You Tell Me to?
Yes. How
Yes.
do you know that?
Because since we're on Dark Sky, I follow them, so I've been looking at all their movies and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
And I know that that's the kind of one of their big ones that they're
Yeah.
pushing right now.
Zelda, are you
Ah.
disappearing? Are you fading into the universe?
Yes.
You just disappeared.
Just, yep.
I need a swivel chair like that, Zell. I like your.
This is the most fun thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a child doing like, well, I am a child, but
Yeah, not anymore.
Do your
Yeah, but
homework.
You can
Come
do,
on.
you can still be a child at heart though.
Yes.
Regardless of how old.
I think I'll be a child forever, honestly. I know John and Toby still are. We're all children together.
Well, my sister once called me a real life Peter Pan. She says you just have that childhood way about you. So,
Well,
That's
a
the
good-
best compliment.
Yeah.
oh,
that's-
right. And coming from my own sister, it's like, how can you get any better than that?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us. I really
Yeah.
I can't
appreciate
thank
it.
the three of you enough. I can't, it's an honor and a thrill and a privilege to speak to the three of you. And
Thanks. This was fun today.
Us too, Anthony.
And you picked out some scenes that were important to us. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And thank you, Kayla, for making this happen. I appreciate it.
Totally, of course. I hope you got lots of good content.
Oh, well, yeah, these guys are awesome.
Agreed.
And hopefully we can talk in the future when you have your next release come out.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll be posting the Danko Jones interview as soon as it's up, and hopefully you guys will give it a
We'll
go.
definitely spend.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Awesome.
hopefully yeah. We love those
Great.
guys.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Anthony.
All the
Bye.
best.
Mhm.